see me? Hi everybody, good evening. This is a quick confirmation just to check whether you all can see me, hear me and see the screen, right? Hopefully all is good. Hi, just a quick confirmation. If you can just say yes in the chat, that will be great. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Vaibhav. Good evening, Saloni. Okay, so I am assuming yes, audible and visible, great. So let's start with today's session. Today we are going to work on DI. Now first you need to, obviously DI stands for data interpretation. First thing which we will be talking about today is the importance of DI in CAT over the last few years and what kind of DI is asked, what are the typical type of sets which are asked. Good evening to everybody. Good evening Pradeep, good evening Saloni, Shreya, Ritesh, all those names I can see here. Good evening to everybody. So we're going to talk about, so I'll just tell you what our agenda for today's session will be. We'll be talking about different kinds of DI sets which are asked in CAT. Some I picked up actual CAT sets, some I've actually picked up sets which are similar to that, just to explain to you things. We will also talk about what are the things which you really need to understand before you actually start, DI. Okay, scared of this session? Oh, why? Why would you be scared? Pretty standard session is going to be, no worries at all. So yeah, so I'll also make a list of things which you should know. It's better to improve your calculations and so on, so on. Why should you not depend on the calculator too much? All those discussions we'll have. Let's start with the first thing. So what is CAT asking nowadays in DI? Okay, one set of direct DI is asked in over the last few years. Normally this is a doable set. Yes, the graphs are slightly scary looking graph. There'll be like a spider web sometimes, or there'll be a graph which looks very different. Last year they had asked a candlestick graph and a lot of people would not even know what a candlestick graph is on. Tejaswani, this session should go on till approximately 10:15, 10:30. Okay. Now, so this is direct DI. When I say direct DI, more calculation, less understanding. When I mean less understanding, less interpretation is there. There is direct data given to you. You have to use that data, calculate. Calculations is not less, calculations is actually more. People might just, calculations is more. And there is less logic in it and so on. More direct data. So one set of this type is being asked over the last couple of years. Okay. Logical DI is the new thing. Now, logical DI is something which has come up in the last few years where there is some amount of logic with numbers. We are not going to handle too much of this in today's class. Maybe this will be next session where I'll pick up sets which are logical DI. I've picked up one Venn diagram which will help you understand a little bit of logical DI, but otherwise besides that it's more or less this. Today is going to be direct DI. Calculation speed is scary graphs over here. Calculation speed is essential. Please do not think just because you have a calculator you're going to get away without doing calculations. You do not knowing your calculations. You all have to, in the next 1 year, get good at calculations. You have to get good at calculations. Okay, I'll just give me a second. Yeah, I know where this issue is. Sometimes things are very smooth and sometimes they just feel as if it's just loading. Just give me a second. I'll try solving that problem right now. Just hold on. Okay, I think this should be fine now. Let's go ahead. No, it's not lagging. I had just paused the whole thing. It's not lagging, guys. I just paused the whole thing, so it should restart now. Okay. Sir गायब नहीं हो गए, सर ने 2 मिनट वीडियो बंद किया था. No worries. Okay. So as I was telling you, they've been asking you mean, median, mode recently. You should be aware of these things. Okay. Let's go ahead. What are the myths in the DI topic? What general myths people have in this topic? Okay, bar graph or line graph is easier or more difficult compared to pie chart or any particular type of chart. Okay, just refresh it once, Junaid. I think you'll be able to. It will be perfect for you then. Just refresh it once. So please understand, okay, that just because data is given to you in the form of a bar or a pie chart or a line graph or a table, it does not matter. Truth is, I can take the same data, which is difficult or easy, and put it in any format. Okay, so that's what it is always. Okay, somebody also else said that audio video is not in sync. I don't know why, but if you want, I'll just. Okay, so just refresh it once. I think once you refresh it, it will work. Okay, so please don't think whether always try to understand the data. Important is understand the data. What is the data trying to tell you? Is the data talking about, is the data which is given, are the questions directly asked or indirectly asked? Read all this thing. Don't decide whether you will do a set or not because it's a bar graph, a line graph, a pie chart, a table or a case slit or whatever it is. Whichever way they give it, don't think about it too much. Okay, because I can give a set whichever way I want. Okay, whichever way I do it, I can make the same data in 10,000 ways and you might just be stumped. Venn diagram is becoming an important topic. Even in CAT 25 there was one set on Venn diagram. In fact, that was a conned question, not in DILR, but a conned, but Venn diagram is an important area. So you should be ready with Venn diagram also. Cool. Some general important concepts in DI, terms, terminology, all these things, these all come from mathematics, they come from quant. So if you know them, great for DI. If you know from maths, great. Otherwise, you will need to know from DI. What is percentage increase or decrease? How do I find percentage increase? Suppose, say, in a particular test, test 1, somebody scored 30 marks. Test 2, he scored 40 marks. Test 3, he scored 45 marks. Test 4, he scored 38 marks. Just random numbers. Okay, I've just took some random numbers. Depending on from where to where they are asking. Let's say last is test 5 where he scored 50 marks. Okay. Now, depending on from where to where they've asked, which year to which year. Suppose if they asked you from the first test to the last test. From the first test to the last test, what is the percentage increase / decrease? So what will the percentage increase be? So percentage increase. Formula for percentage increase will always be increase or decrease depending on what there is upon original multiply by 100 because percentage hai. So for example, if I am going from only test 1 to test 5, change upon original into 100. So if I am going only from test 1 to test 5, then it will be 50 minus 30 upon 30 into 100. 50 minus 30 will be 20. 20 upon 30 into 100. That will be 2 upon 3. You should know that 1/3 is 33.33. So 2/3 will be 66.66%. That is change. Okay, chalo, one more question I'm going to make on this. Let's see if you all can answer. what was the percentage decrease? Percentage decrease has happened only one time in these 4-5 tests. What was the percentage decrease in that particular case? Percentage decrease has happened only once in these 5 cases. Yeah, Ashutosh, I'll explain. So, Ashutosh, percentage change का formula है. Percentage change is change upon original into 100. Yeah, change upon original into 100. So, 50 minus 30 is 20. 20 upon 30 into 100. 0, 0 cut. 200 divided by 3, 66.66. Or if you know your fractions, 1/3 is 33.33. So, 2/3 will be 66.66. Okay, let's see that when is it falling and what was the fall in that particular case. So, there is a fall only one time. Can you see this case? There is only one fall. Let's try and find out how much was the fall in that case. So, how much was the change over here? 45 minus 38. Now, main thing is what will come in the denominator. Will 38 come in the denominator or will 45 come? Always original. So, we are going from T3 to T4. So, T3 will come in the denominator. 45 minus 38 is 7. 7 upon 45 into 100. We can cut with 5. 5 9s are 5 20s are. So, it's approximately 140 upon 9. Right? That will be 9 1s are 9. 5. 9 5s are 45. It will, if you take the decimal, it will continue 5 again and so on. So, it will keep continuing. 15.55%. Okay. Is everybody clear? Percentage change is clear. Whether increase or decrease, the formula remains the same. Venom, whatever your name is, Venom Gaming, whatever you put it down as, how is it 14.5%? It is 15.5%. Okay, now, so this much is done. Let's just write down this formula. What was it? Change upon original into 100. Right? Next one. Growth. Same logic. Exactly the same logic. Growth and growth percentage will have the same logic. Growth is nothing but increase. When I say the revenue of a store, say the revenue of a coffee shop was 10 lakhs in January, 12 lakhs in February, 15 lakhs in March, April it became 20 lakhs. Say if we are looking only from Jan to April now, different things can be asked. What is the growth over 4 months? If they ask you over 4 months, you look only from January to April. Okay. So, from 10 lakhs, it has gone up to 20 lakhs. So, how much is the growth? Growth will be 10 lakhs. But if I ask you growth percentage, it will be the same formula. Change upon original into 100. That is 10 lakhs upon the base, which is again 10 lakhs into 100, which will be 100%. Okay. But I ask you if what is the growth from February to March? If I ask you the growth from February to March, how much will be the growth from February to March? 3 lakhs. It has grown from 12 to 15. 3 lakhs over a base of 12 lakhs into 100. 3 ones are, 3 fours are. 100 divided by 4 is 25%. So, growth is from February to March, growth would be only 3 lakhs, but growth percentage would have been 25%. Are we getting things? Okay, so growth and growth percentage clear. I'm just going to keep those numbers on the side, which I will use again. Next comes two important things. Pay attention very carefully. AAGR or SAGR. Okay, AAGR or SAGR stands for nearly the same thing. It is average or simple annual growth rate. S stands for simple, A stands for, the first A stands for average if you are using the word AAGR, simple annual growth rate. Now, let's understand this very carefully, everybody. Okay, let's take the same, let's take only 2 months now. First, again, let's take only Jan to April. How much is the simple annual growth rate from Jan to April? Now, tell me, when you go from Jan to Feb, how many months have passed? When you're going from Jan to Feb, only 1 month has passed. So, when you're going from Jan to March, 2 months have passed, which means when you're going from Jan to April, 3 months have passed, not 4. Don't make that mistake. That's a very common mistake which students make. When you're going from Jan to April, it is not 4 months, but it is 3 months. Okay, always keep that in mind. Because Jan to Feb is 1 month, Feb to March is another month, and March to April is another month, 3 months. Yeah, AAGR and SAGR stands for the same thing. So sometimes a question might have written SAGR, sometimes it might have written AAGR. So it's the same thing. Okay, so tell me, from Jan to March, in the above example, how much is the simple annual growth rate? How do you do that? Pay attention. So first you find the growth rate, which we had already done. Growth rate from Jan to March, Jan to April, we had done was 100%. Now, no, it can't be more. We have to find average. So simple annual growth rate will now become 100 divided by 3. So it will be 33.33. Simple annual growth rate will be 33. Why divided by 3? Because when I go from Jan to April, it is not counted as 4 months, it is counted as 3 months. Everybody clear with this? Just let me know and then only I'll move ahead. Check this aram se. I'll repeat. When I say Jan to Feb, it is 1 month, Feb to March another month, March to April another month. So total 3 months, and that is why divided by 3. Simple annual growth rate. I can also think of it like simple interest ka formula. I can also think of it like a simple interest ka formula. Okay. Basically, 10 lakhs is becoming 20 lakhs in 3 years. It is saying that 10 lakhs is becoming 20 lakhs in 3 years. What is the rate? So, principal, if I do it, it's completely like a simple interest question. Yes, I am repeating a complete new method also, pay attention. If I take principal as 10 lakhs, amount as 20 lakhs in 3 years, how do you find rate? Question is find rate. Jan to March, nahi, Jan to April. Jai Lakshmi is not Jan to March, it's Jan to April. So 10 lakhs is the principal, amount is 20 lakhs. So how much is your simple interest? Simple interest is principal minus amount minus principal. That will be 10 lakhs. So when you have to look at what they have asked. Initially I have asked, forget these two, I have not asked about these two. I have asked from Jan to April. So because Jan to April is not 4 years, it is 3 years. You have to remember that. That's the most important thing first. 3 months, I mean, not 3 years. Okay. So what will the formula over here become? 10 lakhs, formula for simple interest is P into N into R upon 100. So 10 lakhs is equal to 10 into 3 into R upon 100. If you solve this, you get the same answer for R, 33.33%. So the simple word over here, simple annual growth rate, is same logic which we apply for simple interest. Okay, I'm going to take this example again and explain one more time. इसके ऊपर बाद में आते वापस. पहले let's look at the same example. Jan was 10 lakhs. Suppose new question. Jan is 10 lakhs. April is 18 lakhs. Jan is 10 lakhs, April is 18 lakhs. What is SAGR? This is January, this is April. So, time is 3 months. Time is 3 months. So, monthly growth rate I want to know. Or you can do a completely new question. Completely new question सोचना है. In 2025, the revenue of a cafe was 20 lakhs. 2028, it is expected to be 36 lakhs. What is SAGR? So, 25 to 26 is 1 year, 26 to 27 is second year, 27 to 28 is third year. So, 3 years. So, N is 3. How will we do this? Pay attention. So, how much is the growth? Growth is 36 lakhs minus 20 lakhs, which is 16 lakhs. What is growth rate? What is growth rate? Change upon original into 100. 21s are 25s are 16 5s are 80% is growth rate. What is simple annual growth rate? Simple annual growth rate will be 80 divided by 3, which if you do slightly less than 27, it's 26.66. Everybody now clear with this growth rate system, simple annual growth rate system? Is everybody clear? I'll take the same example and now explain the next concept. So, what was SAGR? SAGR was simple annual growth rate. The next concept which we need to do is CAGR. The next concept is CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. Annual growth rate. Okay, so let's take the same example and we'll do compounded annual growth rate. Okay, what was our example? So, compounded annual growth rate is very much like compound interest. Yes, everything will be covered in live class also, don't worry. Compounded annual growth rate will be very much like compound interest. So, what will we get over here? This becomes my principal. Okay, I think so. Things are fixed and hoping to go ahead better. Yeah. Hi, sorry for the delay, everybody. Streaming had paused for some issues. So we've got 1.8 is 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 3. Obviously, at this stage, you cannot do without a calculator depending on how bad or good the calculations are. How much is the approximate cube root of 1.8 is a very difficult thing to reach to. Okay. But it will be little bit more than 1.2 and lesser than 1.3. Yeah, okay, I'll explain it one more time, the whole thing. So, suppose, let's take an easy example first. Okay, suppose something was 1000 rupees in 2025 and now in 2028 it is going to cost 1331. I'm taking a very standard number example. Then you'll understand better with other examples. Okay. Yeah, I'm explaining the whole thing again. What is the CAGR? So now, how do you do CAGR in such questions? There's no point calculating the growth rate. Directly calculate the compounded annual growth rate. You use the amount ka formula. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3. So amount is 1331. Principal is 1000. We want to find the rate. This is raised to 3. Now 1331 divided by 1000. Okay, so leave it as it is. 1331 divided by 1000 is 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 3. Now, if you do the cube roots, 1331 ka cube root is 11 and 1000 ka cube, that is 11 into 11 into 11 is 1331 and 1000 ka cube root is 10. So, this is equal to 1 plus r upon 100, taking cube root on both sides. So, if I bring the 1 on the other side, 11 upon 10 minus 1 is r upon 100. Take LCM and solve. This becomes 1 upon 10 is r upon 100. Cross multiply, we get 10r is 100 and therefore r is 10%. So, this becomes your compounded annual growth rate. Okay, right now just concentrate on the term, not so much on the method. Obviously, you will understand this much better after you have finished the chapter of compound interest. Are we clear, everybody? Cool. Can I go ahead? Everybody clear with this? Just a quick confirmation in the chat if everything is okay. Sure. We'll move on to the next part. DI approximation, knowing your reciprocals to percentages. Very, very, very important even for QA and even for DI. It is the most important thing you will do today for QA and DI. So, we are going to learn today at least till 1 by 20 tak. Okay. Today we are going to learn till at least 1 by 20. Come on, most of them you all should know orally. If I say half, if I say I ate half the cake, that means in terms of percentage, how much cake did you have? In terms of a percentage, how much cake did you have? You had 50% of the cake. How do you reach to 50%? Half multiplied by 100. Basically, whenever you want to convert a fraction, to a percentage, you say you multiply by 100. So, you do half multiply by 100, which is 50%. Same way, if you say the cake was broken into 3 pieces and you got 1 piece. So, how much part of the cake did you have in terms of percentage? 1/3 will be therefore automatically 33.33. Right? Cool. What about 1/4? 1/4 is also very easy. You can say 1/4, 1 upon 4 into 100 is, how much 1 upon 4 into 100 is 25%. But if I just randomly asked you that there was a huge cake, say it was somebody's birthday party, and including the person who had come, whose party it was, there were 31 more guests. I'll repeat the question. There's a party, say it's my birthday party. I have called 31 guests. That means there are totally 32 people. And the cake is divided into exactly 32 pieces. Then how much percent of the cake did you get? So obviously you know that it is 1 by 32, but you will not know 1 by 32 orally. So the trick to do some of them, not all of them, but some of them 1 by 32 karne ke liye would be, if 1 by 4 is 12, we should directly know 1 by 8. You are dividing one more time by 2. 25 divided by 2 will become 12.5. 1 by 8 को और एक बार divide by 2 करेंगे तो क्या आएगा? 1 by 16. 1 by 16 will be half of this also. 6.25. And 1 by 32 finally will be one more time divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 0.25 divided will be 1.125. So 3.125%. So do you understand that if you know 1 by 2, you can actually get 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16 and 1 by 32. Everybody clear? So now do you all agree that from this, you can easily get 1 by 6, you can get 1 by 9, maybe you can get 1 by 12, at least these 4 and maybe 1 by 24. चलो यहाँ तक करते ये 4 यहाँ से Let's pay attention to this one. 1 by 3 is 33.33. So if I want to find 1 by 6, I have to divide this by 2. You have to divide this by 2. That will become 16.67 or 6666. 16.67 percentage. Clear? Let's have a look at this one more time. This divided by 2. See, whenever you have a confusion dividing by 2, 33.33, sir, odd number है, थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो रहा है. ठीक है ना, रफ वर्क में जाके 33.34 के लिए कर लो. No problem. Just do it for 33.34. It will not matter too much. Or in fact, it will barely matter. 33.34 divided by 2. 166.7, 16.67. But if I want to do 1 by 9, I'll have to divide this by 3. I'll have to just divide by 3 because 9 is 3 threes are. And this divided by 3 is so very easy. 33 divided by 3 is 11.11. If I want to do 1 by 12, I have to divide this by 3. This is by 2, sorry. 12 is 6 twos are. So if I divide that, I'll get 8.33. And therefore 1 by 24 can also be easily got. Divide this by 2. 4.1617, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Are you all getting this? So the whole idea is, if you know some of them, you will get a lot of them just by dividing a little bit here and there. So next time, if I ask you, say, at some stage, I want you to by heart till 1 by 30. 1 month, 2 months ke baad, you should remember 1 by 30 tak by heart. Should not be wasting any time to think. But this is the way you can derive them. Now there are also some tricks to remember them. Okay. Now, next one. So 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 done. 1 by 5 should be the easiest. Come on, tell me 1 by 5, that should be the easiest. Come on, quickly. How much is 1 by 5? 100 divided by 5. 1 by 5 into 100. So 100 divided by 5 will be 20%. And because I know 1 by 5, I should get 1 by 10 also easily. Or 1 by 10 should be easy directly also, like that also. 1 by 10 would be how much? 10%. 1 by 20 should also be very easy. 1 by 20 should also be very easy. How much should be 1 by 20? 5%. You can get 1 by 25 also very easy, 4%. Also remember, these are interchangeable. Like if 1 by 4 is 25, then 1 by 25 has to be 4. If 1 by 4 is 25%, then 1 by 25 has to be 4% and so on. Right? Come on, tell me 1 by 30. How much will be 1 by 30? You have 1 by 3. Can you find 1 by 3 में से 1 by 30? Very simple. From 1 by 3, can you find 1 by 30? Divide by 10. You just need to divide this by 10. So it will be 3.33. Right? So let's just go from starting. What all have we done? 1 by 2 ho gaya, 1 by 3 ho gaya, 1 by 4 done, 1 by 5 done, 1 by 6. 1 by 7 is not done. Wait, I'll come back to it. 1 by 8 done, 1 by 9 done, 10 done, 11 is pending. We'll come back to it. 12 done, 13 is pending, 14 is pending. Okay, so let's now do all the pending ones. 1 by 7 was pending. Okay, so 1 by 7 you'll by heart. Prime numbers you should by heart. Now luckily for only 1 by 7 there is a trick. Luckily 1 by 7 is 14.28 and you are very, very lucky. 7 ka double 14, 14 ka double 28. But this works only for 1 by 7. Now obviously if you know 1 by 7, you know 1 by 14, and you should know 1 by 21 also. Yeah, if you know 1 by 7, you will know 1 by 14, you will know 1 by 21 also. 1 by 14 will be half of this, half of 14.28 will be 7.14. What about 1 by 21? Divide this by 3. 3 4s are 12, 3 7s are 21, 3 6s are 4.76. 1 by 9. Let's see if you'll remember. अभी पीछे लिखा 1 by 9 क्या था? How many people remember 1 by 9 from behind? Let's see. We just wrote it behind. Let's see if anybody remembers. 1 by 9. Quickly. Good. Some of you all remember. Weber remembers. Ankush remembers. Nice. So 1 by 9 is 11.11%. And I have a habit of remembering these two together. मैंने एक हैबिट बना लिया कि ये दोनों को साथ में याद रखने का. 1 by 9 is 11.11, 1 by 11 is 9.09. 9 के आंसर में 11, 11 के आंसर में 9. I'll repeat. 1 by 9 is 11.11, 1 by 11 is 9.09. 9 के आंसर में 11, 11 के आंसर में 9. ऐसे याद रखने का. Okay? 1 by 10 we had finished, 1 by 12 we had finished, 1 by 13. Okay? So, couple of ways of remembering 1 by 13. These are just some tricks, you know, like how a school mein history teacher used to tell you, remember some dates by some particular tricks. That way. 1 by 13. Normally 13 is called a what type of number? Some horror movies mein aata hai na. So what is 13 called? What type of number is 13 called? Okay, I'll come to that. Anybody, what type of number is 13 called? No, horror movies बोला मैंने, आदर्श, odd number नहीं है. I'm not looking at the answer. People are not giving me the answer. Horror movies में 13 का क्या logic होता है? Everybody is giving me prime, prime, prime. I don't want prime. I don't. हाँ, somebody said, Ojashvi said finally. Unlucky number. 13 is called as the unlucky number. So जैसे 13 is called the unlucky number, which is called the lucky number. Devil number तो 666 है, मधुमिता. The way 13 is called the unlucky number, which is called the lucky number. Anybody knows? The lucky number is called 7. So you can remember 1 by यहाँ पे unlucky number तो यहाँ पे lucky number 7.7%, or if you want a very exact answer, it is 7.69%. These are just some tricks which you will remember with. They are just fun tricks, nothing very specifically. Okay, 1 by 13 is 7.7 or 7.69. Thala for a reason, no problem, 7. Great. 1 by 15. I don't know whether we did 1 by 15 behind, but I'm just thinking 15 is what? 5 threes are? So 1 by 5 तो I knew 20. तो इसका आंसर will be 20 divided by 3, 6.67. 1 by 15, 5 threes are 1 by 5 we should know already 20 है, या 1 by 3 we should know already 33.33 है. तो या तो 33.33 divided by 5 or 20 divided by 3, whichever way you do you'll get 6.67. 16 अपना हो गया था. 1 by 17, as soon as you get a prime number you have to by heart it. 5.88, और इसके लिए तो मेरे पास कोई ट्रिक भी नहीं है. 1 by 17 is 5.88. One by 18 we had already finished half of this, or we can do it now. Half of this will be 5.55. And last left is 1 by 19. वो भी prime number है, तो better to I heart it. 5.24 approximately. So today we are going to do till 1/20. Everybody should start making an effort. You all should make a list of this, stick it in the front of your study board, keep it on your as your wallpaper of your phone or whatever, and start revising this. Okay, chalo, let's start further. Now, most common questions people have when they start solving DI, that if there is a data which is given in the form of a graph, do I every time need to convert it to a table, or I can just say, should I solve it from the graph? Very frankly, there is no right answer for this. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये हर बार you should not convert और हर बार you should convert. There is no right or wrong answer. Sometimes you will need to convert. 1/17 Jaya Lakshmi, there is no standard approach, you'll have to by heart it. So, there is no standard approach for this. Okay. Always remember that. Sure. Let's start with some. So, we've just learned a couple of things. We're going to try and apply to a graph. There are no questions. Today, we're not going to do too many questions. I'm going to only keep explaining to you graphs and everything. So, this particular graph was given. There were 3 companies over here. The grey graph is for LG, the orange one is for Samsung, and blue is others. Okay. Now, you can see, and these are sales figures in rupees, crore of rupees. These are all sales figures. Now, based on what we learned, suppose if I make a first question. From 1984 to 1989, that is over 5 years. From 84 to 85, over 84 to 89 over 5 years. Acha, how to know a number is prime or not? I'll come back to that later. Just wait 2 minutes. I'll come back to that explanation. Just wait. Now, over here, suppose if I asked you, which out of the 3 has the highest growth rate? Only growth rate I asked. I have not asked simple, I have not asked compound, I have not asked anything. I have asked only which out of the 3 has the highest growth rate. So, what you will have to do? You will have to do it only from first year till last year. So, you have to look at only the starting value and the end value. So, let's start with others. Others ka starting value is 3,500, ending at 5,000. So, first one, for others, what will the answer be? Change. How much is the change? 3.5 to 5. So, change is how much? 1,500 upon original into 100. Don't solve, we'll just wait. Jitna cut hota utna khali cut kar rakhe the. 5 3s are 5 7s are. So, 3 upon 7 into 100. Leave that for A, for others. Now, let's do B for Samsung. From 1100 to 1600. 1100 to 1600. So, 1600 minus 1100 is 500 on a base of 1100 into 100, 11 to 16. Yeah, no worries. We'll see. First, let everybody understand the concept. 2 zeros cut, so 5 by 11 into 100. C, from 900 to 1000. So, change is only 100 upon 900 into 100, 1 by 9. Now, listen, do you realize this 100 becomes useless because it is there in everyone and we are comparing. So, 100 does not need to be taken only. We just need to compare the others. So, 3 by 7, 5 by 11 and 1 by 9. If you know your reciprocals by heart, you can calculate this well. How much was 1 by 7? Chalo, let's see how many people remember 1 by 7 is how much? 1 by 7 was 14.28. 1 by 7 was 14.28. So, uska triple 14.28 ka 3 times. That will become 42.84. right? 5 by 11. 1 by 11 was 9.09. 1 by 11 was 9.09. So it became 9.09 into 5, which is 45.45. And 1 by 9 is only 11.11. So this is too low. So last one is too low. Out of these two, the middle one was higher. So everybody was saying others. But what happened? Suddenly Samsung came better. And there were a couple of people saying only by observation also we can say. So what happened to the observation and all? So do you realize you should be very careful when you're solving? You can't take assumptions. Okay. Another way of comparing these two, pay attention. Okay, suppose you reach this step. You know 1 by 9 though is too small. So this is not my answer. So don't even think about it. In the other two, I can simply cross multiply. Just keep the 3 here only, bring the 11 up. So 3 11s is 33, 7 5s is 35. 35 is greater, that is why this is greater. Second method to do it is, here just take the 11 on top, 33, take the 7 on top, 35, 35 is bigger, so therefore this is bigger. Much easier approach, did you understand? But this is valid only if you want to compare two things. This method is valid only if you want to compare two ratios. Is that clear? So if I want to take one more example which is pretty close by, say 2 by 9 and say 3 by 14. Okay, so much easier to compare this way if I just cross multiply. 14 2s are 28, 9 3s are 27, 28 is more than 27, so this answer is more. 2 ke liye this is the best method to do. Is it clear, everybody? Cool, can I go ahead? Same graph, we'll study more things. Okay. For others, what is CAGR from 85 to 89? From 1985 to 1989. Jay Lakshmi, which part do you want me to explain again? The fraction wala part, just cross multiply. Say 2 upon 7 into 3 upon 11. If you want to compare, Jay Lakshmi, just cross multiply. 11 2s are 22, 7 3s are 21. So this is bigger, so answer is bigger. Clear, Jay Lakshmi, now? Yeah, next question I've given. Since we were learning CAGR and everything, what is the CAGR for 85 to 89 for others? So 85 का value कितना है for others? 85 का value is 4000 and 89 का value is 5000. And I want CAGR, not SAGR. Okay, so pay attention. So you have to learn to use this formula. Amount is equal to principal into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to how many years? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. So raised to 4. So 5000, the 4000 will come down. So 5000 divided by 4000 is 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 4. Zeros cut out. 5 upon 4 is approximately 1.25. 5 upon 4 is 1.25 is 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 4. Somebody can open up the calculator and do square root 2 times. Come on, do the calculator पे open up the calculator and do square root 2 times. पहले 1.25 का square root करो, फिर वापस आंसर का square root करो. Come on, get me the answer. Some places you will have to learn to use the calculator. Not 6.25%. I don't know how a lot of people are saying 6.25%. So इसमें जो second value है वो amount है, first value principal है. Second value is always amount, first value is always principal. Yeah, anybody did square root 2 times? Nobody gave me the answer, so I'll only do 1.25 का square root. Square root of 1.25 comes to approximately 1.118. Square root of 1.118, 1.06 approximately, 1.057 chalega. Chalo. So when I do square root 2 times, I get 1.057 is 1 plus r upon 100. Bring the 1 on the left side. So it will become 1.057 minus 1 is r upon 100. 0.057 multiply by 100 is equal to r. Therefore, r is approximately 5.7%. That is compounded annual growth rate. Is that clear, everybody? If for the same question I ask you simple annual growth rate, it becomes very easy. Let's take the same question and do simple annual growth rate. Same question, ये 4,000, ये 5,000. If I ask you what is SAGR, it becomes very simple because here I just have to divide by 4. So here I can do change. I will first find growth rate. Change is 1,000 upon 4,000 into 100, which is 25%. 25%, and simple annual growth rate will be 25 divided by 4, 6.25%. So SAGR is very easy, CAGR is a little bit difficult. CAGR stands for compounded annual growth rate and SAGR stands for simple annual growth rate. When we learn the chapter of simple interest and compound interest, you will understand it much better. Okay, Junaid? Are we clear? Cool. So that's what we learned about this. Let's learn a different type of graph. Now, this is not a full question again, but this graph was asked in CAT 2025. In fact, there were 2 graphs in this set, but right now we are just learning how to read this graph. Okay. First thing, when you look at this graph, it looks completely new. So we need to understand how this graph is read. Lot of people make mistake in reading the graph only. So for today, what I'm teaching you is how to read this graph. Yeah, Ritu, in a lot of places, simple average will mean simple annual growth rate. So this is like a spider web. Pay attention. Okay, what is this data? Import tariff percentage. That is, what is the import tariff percentage charged by each country on other countries. Okay, let's take the red line. It's a very clear line. So let's work with the red line because that's very dark. So red line is France. Obviously, France will not put any restriction on France itself. So first of all, if I want to convert this whole graph into a table, what type of table should I make? I think the ideal table to make will be this type. Okay. So we will look at France first and we look at this graph. Everybody pay attention to France. So France cannot put any tariff on France. So France के साथ France नहीं हो सकता है. Now let's look at France is charging US how much. So where is the red graph for US? US is over here and the red graph is over here for US. It is 10, 20, 30. So can I say France to US is charging 30% tariff? France to India, where is India? India is over here. The red graph is over here. 40%. Can you see? Or what you can do, you can finish one country. Suppose you can finish India for all of them. France is charging 40%. Even US is charging 40% because US is blue in color. Actually, that's also a good way to do it. India will not charge India anything. Let's look at only India and finish up everything. India, the yellow line is at 50. India, the yellow line is at 50. Yellow line is for which country? Japan. So Japan is charging 50% tariff for India. The red and the blue line both are at 40. Red and blue are France and US. So 40 and 40. Left is only UK. India with UK. UK is the black line. That is 30%. Did everybody understand this whole India ka block? Tell me yes or no. I will explain the same block for all countries, but pay attention. Now let's look at, say, USA. USA is over here. USA, can you see nobody is at 50. So nobody is charging US 50. But the yellow and the green line both are at 40. For USA, the yellow and the green line both are at 40. So yellow is Japan and green is India. Japan and India both are charging 40. US red line is at 30. That we have already done. France is at 30. No problem. Mehek, look at the next one. All are same only. I'm just explaining how to read the graph. Yes, I'm explaining again. Chalo, I'll explain US again. Everybody pay attention to US again. Everybody just pay only to attention to US. All those who didn't understand. Let's look at this. US पे 50 पे कोई नहीं है. Yeah. I'm explaining again if you'll pay attention. There is nobody at 50. At 40, can you see US has two lines? Which color lines are touching at 40? There is a yellow line touching at 40 and also the green line touching at 40 for US. So what will that mean? US, green and yellow line are India and Japan. India and Japan both are charging 40. Next, the red line is at 30. मैं सिर्फ US देख रहा हूँ. I'm looking only at US. So I'm looking like this. I'm looking like this. The red line is at 30. Red line is France, so 30. And the black line is at 20. So UK is at 20. Now check, everybody understood. Obviously US can't charge US anything. So US with US is cross. Are we clear? Now, let's check for France now. Suppose France. France will be this line, no? Now, France is this line. You want to start from smallest or largest, doesn't matter. There is nobody charging 10%. This is 20%. This one is 20%. So who's charging 20%? Blue line. Blue line is US. So US is charging France 20%. UK and Japan both are charging 30%. Black and yellow line both are 30%. So UK and Japan both are charging 30%. And India is charging, where is India? India is the green line. It is charging France how much? 50%. Have you all now understood? All those who had doubt initially, have you all understood? Last, if you want, I'll do two more, Japan and UK. So when I'm looking at Japan, I will draw the line like this. So Japan, dekho, 1, 2, 3. There is nobody here also. So there are two numbers over here. Japan के लिए red and blue line, that is France and US, both are charging 30%. This is 10, this is 20, this is 30. So I'll repeat, who are charging 30%? France and US. France and US both are charging 30%. Okay. Next, UK is charging 40% and India is charging 50%. Everybody clear? So, in an exam, it all depends upon what they've asked. Should I convert this graph to a table? Should I not convert this graph to a table? Will all depend on how the questions are asked and whether am I comfortable reading the graph again and again, or I don't mind wasting a minute or two to make this table. But you should be able to make this table within 1 or 2 minutes. Are we clear, everybody? Chalo, let's go ahead. Obviously, now it is the same explanation, so I'm not explaining again for UK. But if you want, UK के numbers भी यहाँ पे ही दिख रहे सब. There is 10 from India. UK, there will be nothing with UK. 10 with India. Not 10, sorry, 20 with India, my bad. 20 with India. There was nobody at 10. 20 with India, 30 with US, 40 with UK and Japan. Cool. Let's see the next type of graph. One more set we are doing. This was CAT 24 ka set. Okay. Is there anybody over here who is anyway associated with the stock market? In the chat, just tell me yes or no. In any way, are you associated with the stock market? If you are associated anyhow with the stock market, or if you know in your final year of BBA or BMS or whatever, you've taken a finance, you would have seen this type of graph. This is called a candlestick graph. Okay. So a lot of people understand a candlestick graph, people who have done some amount of studies around the stock market and all that. Okay. But not that if you haven't learned, you can't understand it, because everything which is to be explained is explained already. Okay. So pay attention. Let's read the explanation carefully. The chart below shows the price data for 7 shares A to G. So these are 7 shares A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all shown in the graph. हाँ यही होता है तेजस्वनी, this is the easiest set for a particular day. The vertical axis shows the price of share in rupees. So these are all price. Now for every graph there are 4 points we have to be careful about. Pay attention, okay? We'll read aram se. A share whose closing price at the end of the day is more than the opening price is called a bullish share. What's a bullish share? What's a bullish share? Closing price is greater than opening price. Closing, not cost price, this is closing price is greater than opening price. And what's a bearish share? Exactly opposite. Same type of graph in 2022 was asked in ZAT. Closing price is less than opening price. Okay. So all bullish shares and bearish shares are shown in green and red color respectively. So bullish का green color है, bearish का red color है. Now you just have to understand, you have to look at this graph first. Let's look at only reds. Let's look only at reds first, okay? So red में क्या दिया है? ये day का high price है. We are going to do only for one share first. We will do say for A. Let's do only for A. A का opening price कहाँ है? This is the opening price. You want, I'll use a different color marker which can be used in both. This is the opening price. Can you see? It is written also. वहाँ पे side पे दिया भी था. So what is A's opening price? 2200. I am going to call it only 22. Later I'll put the 00. I'll see whether I want to put 00 or not. Closing price is 1000. Not 1000, sorry, 1800. Yes, I'll show the table also. Wait, no. So, this is opening price, this is closing price, this is day ka high price and this is day's low price. So, low price, high price. What is low price? 1200 or 12 and high price is 24. And let's do same way one green color graph. Green color graph mein only closing opening will interchange, everything else will remain same. Suppose we are doing for C. I am explaining for C. Not for C, let's explain for D because C तो थोड़ा वापस और confusion हो जाएगा. C में ये दोनों same price है. तो high and low तो will remain same only. 1200 and 300. So high is 1200, low is 300. What about opening and closing? Opening and closing gets reversed. This is opening and this is closing. So opening is 500 and closing is 1000. So 10. Is everybody clear? Check this properly. Quickly let me know if you all understood. Now, there were 4 questions in this set. So, I have just put down the questions over here. So, if people want to first read the questions, can read and then we will decide how this should have been done in the exam. So, they have given us some kind of formula for a particular term called SPV. What is SPV? SPV is high price minus low price divided by average of opening and closing. That means to calculate SPV, I need everything. I need low price, I need high price, I need average of closing, opening, both. 2 questions are on SPV and especially the second question has no options, which means I have to do SPV for all 7. I have to do SPV for all 7. So, my question to you is, would you want to keep going back to the graph every time or would you want to make a table for this question? Now, my question, answer my question everybody, would you want to keep going back to the graph every time or would you spend a minute or 2 and make the table first? I would make the table, that's my suggestion. Okay? So, let's create the table first. We are going to solve this whole set. Let's create the table. This will be the very simple table. Why have I put red and green? Whichever graph is in red, just for your understanding, I put red there and green, green. In the exam, you can't do that. So, you might use circles or box or something else. You can say circles are, or you will just remember from the graph. So, open, close. So, what I would do in the exam, even though here I haven't done, but in the exam, I would do like this. I would finish all reds ka pehle. So, what is this? This is opening price, right? Red ke liye. So, this is 22. 20, 13 and 18. So, I would have done that. 22, 22, 20, 13 and 18. And then maybe I would fill the table accordingly. Now, table में जैसे भी बनाओ, या तो तुम सब कुछ एक साथ में देखो या look at one graph and finish it off. Whichever way do, you'll have to make the table. So, these are the values in the table you will get. Obviously, I have explained 1 or 2 so that rest all will come in the same way. So, there is nothing much to explain. The only thing you have to be sure at the end is in the red. Yeah, I know there's some issue today with the software, but we've restarted. I think it should be fine now. Okay. So, everybody understood till here? Just quickly let me know in the chat whether you understood till here. Somebody is asking, sir, how 22 came? Which 22? I think there's only 122 in the whole thing. Let's check this. A ka opening price. Red ke liye opening kahan pe? Yahan pe. So, 2200, which I have written only as 22. This is 2200. I have written only as 22. Yes, everybody clear till here? Why waste your time writing two zeros? Now, let me explain the first two questions. SPV. Let's try and calculate SPV for all the shares. Because anyway, for the second question also we need SPV. What is SPV ka formula? High minus low divided by average of opening and closing. So, high minus low. How much is high minus low for A? High minus low is 12. 24 minus 12 is 12. Show कुछ भी नहीं करना होता सलोनी, तुम्हारी मर्जी है. Nobody is asking you what you have to show. 24 minus 12 is 12 divided by average of 22 and 18. 22 plus 18 is 40. 40 divided by 2 is 20. 12 divided by 20 is 0.6. Let me know if you understood the first one. 0.6. A के लिए. This 12 came from 24 minus 12. And this 20 came from average of 18 and 22. 18 and 22 average is 20. 12 divided by 20 is 0.6. Understood everybody? Clear? Can I go ahead? Let's quickly do it for B. High minus low, 6. Divided by 17 and 20 ka average, 37. 37 divided by 2 is 18.5. So 6 divided by 18.5. You can do it on the calculator or you can leave it as it is, no problem. It will also, you can make it 12 upon 37 also. If you multiply both of them by 2, it will become 12 upon 37. You can keep everything in fractions if you want. C. 14 minus 8, 6. I am doing this calculation for all of them because I know I can answer two questions. 14 minus 8 is 6. 6 divided by average of 18, 8 and 12, which is 10. Again 0.6. 12 minus 3, 9. Divided by 15 divided by 2, 7.5. Which can become 18 upon 15, which can become 5 by 3. Right? Are you all understanding? I'm going to check this one again. 9 divided by 7.5. Right. Next one, E. 3 divided by 12. 1 by 4, 0.25. F. 20 minus 12. 8. Divided by average of 18 and 16. Average of 18 and 16 is 17. Leave it as it is. G. 19 minus 10, 9. Average of 12 and 27 will be 14.5, which is 18 upon 29. Now, let's try and answer both these questions carefully, everybody. Out of these shares, which has the highest SPV? D. D का SPV कितना है? 5 by 3. In fact, D is the only one which is more than 1. Rest all are less than 1. In fact, all 7 में D is the only one which is more than 1. So, what will be the answer for the first question? Do I even need to check the others? D is 5 by 3, which is more than 1. Approximately 1.6666. So, this is the answer. D is the answer for the first question. Are you all understanding? Yes or no? Quickly. Second one. How many shares had a SPV greater than 0.5? So, let's check for greater than 0.5. A will be counted. Now, 0.5 is very easy to calculate. Let me explain how. If the numerator is half or more than half, if the numerator is half or more than half, you can say more than 0.5. Now, 37 ka half approximately 18 hota hai, and numerator is not more than half. So, this is not 0.5 or more. This is also 0.5 se upar. So, 2. This is definitely 0.5 se upar. This is not 0.5. Tell me F. Come on, you all tell me F on your own. You all tell me F on your own. Is it more than 0.5, less than 0.5? Just say more or less. More or less, you have to just say that. I am asking for F, more or less. 8 divided by 17. 17 ka half is 8.5. So this is less. So this is less than 0.5, so not counted. 29 ka half is 14.5. So this is more than 0.5, so counted. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So answer for this question was 4. So do you realize in a CAT question or in a CAT test, this is a pretty doable 2 questions, yes or no? Everybody agrees? Were these 2 doable questions, yes or no, quickly? Next 2 questions, come on. Daily loss is defined as opening price minus closing price divided by opening price. The formula is made. Don't ask how. They have said use this formula. Daily loss is defined as opening price minus closing price divided by opening price. Which among these following 4 shares had the highest daily loss? So opening minus closing. So do you realize G though is not possible also, because G is green color, there is no loss. G is a bullish share, so there is profit. So G is not my answer. We have to do only for A, B and F. What formula? Opening minus closing divided by opening. Opening minus closing, 4 divided by opening. So 4 by 22, 2 by 11. Leave it as it is. B के लिए 3 by 20. Leave it as it is. F 2 by 18. Yes, everybody clear? 4 by 22, 3 by 20 and 2 by 18. Just using this formula. So what do I get? Which is the highest they've asked? Okay. If you know your fractions well, you could do it orally. 1 by 11 was 9.09. 1 by 11 was 9.09. Remember, so 2 by 11 will be 18.18. 3 by 20. 1 by 20 was 5. So 3 by 20 will be 15. Highest चाहिए, तो ये तो आंसर नहीं है. 2 by 18 is 1 by 9, which is 11.11. How F, Tejaswani? 2 by 18 is 1 by 9, 11.11. So which is the answer, Tejaswani? A or F? You can check as fractions also. Remember I taught you a method 2 by 11 and 2 by 1 by 9. 9 2s are 18, 11 1s are 11. This is bigger, so 2 by 11 is bigger. Tejaswani, did you find your mistake? Answer for this question is A. Now, next one. What would have been the percentage wealth gain for a trader who bought equal number of all bullish shares at opening price and sold them at their day's high? Only bullish shares. सर इसमें हमें ओपनिंग और क्लोजिंग का डिफरेंस फॉर्मूला दिया है ना, हमको कुछ भी रखना नहीं है, जो फॉर्मूला दिया है वो अप्लाई करना है. आशुतोष, are you saying? Ashutosh, you just have to blindly apply this formula. You don't have to do anything on your own. Okay, done? Now, last question. This answer was A. Last question. We have to look only at all the bullish shares. That means you have to look at C, D and G only. And we have to buy when? At opening price. They bought at opening price and sold at day's high. तो सबका equal number of shares. So सबके लिए एक ही share के लिए करते. Let's do only for one share. Which part, Saloni? Daily loss वाला part? Daily loss, you just have to apply this formula, Saloni. There's nothing else you have to do. And we apply to only the 3 of them. We can't apply to G because G has profit. मैं वापस explain कर रहा हूँ. Okay, पहले I'll explain daily loss वाला question again. 3. Okay, let me explain, Saloni. पहले let's do A. A is what? Opening minus closing. 22 minus 18 divided by 22. 4 by 22, which is 2 upon 11. Yes? Now understood, Saloni? तो 4 by 22 आया ना मेरा भी, तो उसको कट किया. 2 2s are 2 11s are. Saloni, I'm still waiting for your answer. Yes or no? (22 minus 18) 4 divided by 22. Saloni, I'm still waiting for your answer. Okay, B. This was A. Now let's do for B. 20 minus 17 upon 20. 3 upon 20. And then F. 18 minus 16 upon 18. 2 upon 18, 1 upon 9. Approximate percentages mein, this is 18.18%, this is 15%, and this is 11.11%. So this is the highest one. So answer is A. Clear, everybody? Chalo, let's go ahead. So now we have to take equal amount of bullish shares. So I'm going to take 1 share of C, 1 share of D, and 1 share of G. 1 share of each. When are we buying? Read in the question. When are we buying? We are buying at the opening price and selling at the day high. तो ये दो ही टेबल देखने को, opening and high. ये कुछ काम का ही नहीं है. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. Look only at these 3. 1, 2. We have to buy 1 of each. Buying when? At opening price. So what is total cost price? Total cost price. 8 plus 5 plus 12. 25. Normal simple profit and loss. Total selling price. 14 plus 12 plus 19. 26, 26 plus 19. 45. Profit. Profit is selling price minus cost price. 45 minus 25. 20. Profit percentage. Profit upon cost price into 100. 25 ones are, 25 fours are, 80%. Check whether everybody understood. %, answer is the first option. I bought 1 share of each. Why? Because they said equal number. That is why we bought 1 for each. Great. Okay, we'll do enough for today. We're already at 10:30. We'll save 2 sets of logical DI for next time. You've completed your graduation in 2023. That's not called gap year. Nirja. Gap year is if you have a gap year between your studies. That's called gap year. After graduation, you can do your MBA after enough number of years also. There's no problem. Okay, everybody. Is everybody done with, understood this? So I hope you've some relief of your fear of DI. Somebody had said, sir, the session is very scary. I hope you all have got that. Okay. Bye. Good night, everybody.